Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, wanted to make a video navigating a schematic wiring diagram. This is a 2017 Hyundai Elantra. We're looking at the starting system here. So the way that these schematics are laid out, always your powers are always going to be up top, and on the bottom, you always have your grounds on the bottom. This is a starting circuit, so the PCM is what controls the ground in this wiring diagram. So this here is a starter relay, right? And here is the relay, the bridge that is open until it is triggered to close. So the way it works is this side of the relay, you have your PCM that controls that triggers the relay to close over here. The way that works is you follow this white wire. Ultimately, it goes to your ignition switch. So when you turn your key to start, there's voltage sent to pin 3, the white wire, goes through the start fuse, and then it goes through the transmission range switch. That's why if you ever experience a no crank, no start on a Hyundai, very likely it can be that the transmission range switch is causing the starting signal not to go through. You can see here. Um, Anyways, if it is a working unit, then the voltage goes through and ends up at pin 5 of the relay. So your relay, you have your power side, and then the ground side that goes to the PCM. So when you turn the key, you can see here the starting signal is tied into the PCM as well. So pin 66, and you can see it is tied in here. So when the PCM receives a voltage from the ignition switch, then the PCM is supposed to ground the circuit, pin 34. When the PCM provides the ground, then the relay gets energized and closes this side of the relay, and then the voltage gets sent to the starter solenoid, and that's how the starter eventually will crank the engine. So this is the way that relays work. Wherever you see this means that the relay is open on this side, and on the other side of any relay in general, when you see these squiggly lines, this is the coil that gets energized. You're always going to have a power side and whatever controls a ground side. Um, so almost always it's some sort of control module, um, or it could always have ground and it waits for a voltage to energize a coil and closing the circuit on this side to allow the voltage to be sent. So that's the way a relay works. It's a general idea. And like I said, always your powers are going to be on top. Um, I'm used to looking at Hyundai wiring diagrams. I am a Hyundai technician, so I'm speaking about that. I'll show you another example. So if we look at stop lamps, same vehicle. So here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Top side of the wiring diagram is always going to be your power side, and on the bottom half is always your ground side. So here we're looking at the stop lamps. So you can see the top pins are your powers, and they come from the smart junction box, which is the fuse box inside of the vehicle. And these are controlled by IPS switches. I believe it stands for Intelligent Power Switch. So pretty much they're built-in relays that are built into the junction box or the fuse box. So that it's not an actual physical relay, but it is an intelligent type of relay. So that's how that works. So here we're looking at a wiper motor for same vehicle, 2017 Elantra. Same thing up here. You see you got two relays. So we're gonna look at let's look at the low relay for the front wipers. So you can see here the relay is open until the coil is energized, right? So you get your power. See on this one, you actually get your power from the body control module. So this one is not ground controlled. So here you can see power for the wiper relay control, and then you get your power. You get your ground from actual ground, which would be GE01 in the frame rail. So this is a good example of how the circuit can be controlled either by ground or by power. On this circuit, it is the relay gets controlled with power, not with ground. You can see here the way it's laid out, that this pin goes to GE01, and then the body control module sends voltage to complete the circuit, and then the relay closes, and then sends power to your to the fuse, and then it sends it to the body control module. So that's the way that the relays work. It's a good example of how it could be power and ground controlled. So here it goes to the BCM for the blade position, and then the wire is tied in here, which goes to your wiper motor. Let's look at another circuit. We could do brake system. Trying to find the relay to show you guys. No relays there. A horn. Let's look at the horn, because that's going to have a relay for sure. Alright, so here we're looking at the horns. This vehicle has a high and a low pitch. However, they are fed by the same circuit. You can see the wire is tied in here, so they get powered together. So here is our horn relay. So when you push on your steering wheel horn, it goes through the clock spring, and then it goes up to the relay. So on this one, we're adding ground to complete the relay circuit. So we have the horn fuse, which powers our relay, and then when you press the steering wheel horn, it gives it ground, so it completes the circuit, in turn closing your relay, and then sending power out of the relay into your horns. And then the horns have their own ground as well. But you can see here that the ground is provided from the steering wheel, the horn, the actual horn. The body of the usually the driver airbag has a ground that grounds it to the steering wheel through the clock spring. So that's the way a relay works. It could either be ground controlled, or it could be opposite. So you would have power being added down here by a module like a body control module or engine control module, and then this pin would go to ground, so it would always have ground. So that's just a quick video on how my understanding of how relays work and how to navigate through these wiring diagrams. If you guys want to see some specific videos, especially Hyundais, let me know. If you guys are dealing with some sort of electrical issue on a Hyundai or Kia and you can't get it figured out, leave a comment and I'll help you guys as much as I can. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.